This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tenjam. Thinking of adding a sun shelf to your pool? Infinity by Tenjam is a freestanding sun shelf that can be delivered, installed, and ready for use on the same day. Finally, a tanning ledge without the need for costly pool renovation. Infinity by Tenjam is the fastest and most simple way to add a sun shelf to your existing pool. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web today at www.tenjam.com.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Trusty, and today I'm chatting with Eli Olivares, sales manager at Faber CNK Stone, one of the nation's leading premier importers and wholesale distributors of travertine and marble tile, mosaic tile, pavers, and coping. It's a pleasure to have you with us today on the show, Eli.
Thank you, Joe. It's a pleasure to be here.
Today, we're going to be discussing what's hot and trending in the backyard this pool season from Faber, and Eli is going to walk us through some of their flagship products. But before we get into all that, I thought the right starting point for today's discussion would be first if I had you introduce your company to our listeners and maybe give us a bit of bio information about who Faber CNK Stone is, how long you guys have been in the game, and what your company is all about.
Absolutely, Joe. So Faber CNK Stone is a natural stone supplier, travertine, marble, stacked stone, as well as tile. We originated in Turkey, which is where all of our material comes from. They actually started as a large distributor to all of the companies here in the United States. With time, they decided to branch off and create their own company. We have been Faber CNK Stone for 8 years now. Since we've started here, our first location was in Houston, Texas, which is where the port is. Since then, we have branched off to open up 5 new locations, one in Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas-Fort Worth, White Settlement area.
I was at a TCNA conference at Coverings in Atlanta this year, and they were mentioning how Turkey has picked up a large percentage of the market share in your sector. I mean, what would you say is one of the catalysts for why Turkey has become such a tremendous source?
Yeah, sure. I was actually at that show as well, Joe. So Turkey is leading the world right now in producing travertine. Probably 70 to 80% of the travertine is all produced from Turkey that we have here in the United States. So it's definitely a leader in that. And I think the reason for that, Joe, is because the minerals in the earth are a lot richer in that area. So when this travertine and marble is being created, it's being created with these vibrant colors, these rich cream colors or rich white or reddish tones to them. It's just a very beautiful material to see. And not only that, because of the minerals being so rich in that area, the material has a higher quality. It's so much more denser. The pits aren't as big that you would see in your usual travertine where it has big pits. You don't find a lot of that from the Turkish products.
Well, thanks for that background info, Eli. I mean, can you tell us about the range of natural stone products that Faber CNK Stone specializes in?
Absolutely. So for us, obviously, travertine has always been a fan favorite. So we do carry 9 different travertines, but marble is where we see this industry going. And for that reason, we have about 10 different marble selections. And Faber C&K Stone was actually one of the first companies to bring what's called a sandblasted marble to this industry. Now, of course, everyone has it, but Faber was able to figure it out. When you think of marble, you think of something slippery, you think of something not safe for your family. And with this sandblasted material that we're carrying, it's absolutely safe. And when you're dealing with the homeowner, that's their concern. Typically, they're getting these pools for their kids and their family to enjoy themselves. They do not want to have any accidents out there. So this sandblasted material that we brought is an absolute game changer.
When we talk about what materials are being used in the backyard, it's clear that travertine and marble have both exploded in popularity over the last decade. We see more and more builders are gravitating toward the material, and consequently, many high-end backyards these days will feature a travertine or marble deck. Can you explain why these materials have suddenly gained so much traction in the backyard as a go-to material?
Absolutely. So when you think of travertine and marble, it's just the fact that you've taken a piece of a mountain or a quarry from Turkey and you're bringing it into your backyard, and the colors, this is obviously something that was made by the earth. So human beings, we can't emulate that. That is just something that is a natural beauty. Its imperfections are the reason why it's so beautiful. So I feel like that plays a big role. And on top of that, when you think of a concrete deck, obviously you drive down the street, you see the cracks in the street and on the concrete, and that's to be expected with time as well. Now, when you're dealing with travertine and the way our contractors are setting it, they're using a sand and gravel base. This travertine has the ability to shift with the movement of the earth. So therefore, you don't have a bunch of cracks running down your decking. This is one of the reasons why I feel travertine is so big. Travertine and marble is so big because it's something that's going to stand the test of time. It's going to look beautiful forever. I feel that that's a really big point.
Well, it definitely has gotten big. I mean, the spike in popularity has certainly led to somewhat of a paradigm shift of what materials we see being used in the backyard these days. But tell me, what trends in outdoor living spaces are influencing and driving that demand for travertine and marble products?
Contemporary looks. People want modern looks. People want something that they can bring their neighbors over and everyone just be in awe. And you're finding that in natural stone. You're not finding it in concrete or, stamped concrete. You're finding that with natural stone, it's just something that just catches your eye and you can't stop looking at it or stop wondering, how did this happen? What made this? It's just one of those things that just it's unexplainable almost. The beauty of it. It's crazy.
Well, what's hot and trending with Faber right now? What are some of the hot products that are popular with builders and homeowners, and what's moving off the shelf this pool season?
Platinum Ice is probably by far one of our hottest sellers right now. It's a new material that we just brought in about 6 months ago. It's a sandblasted with a bush hammered finish marble. It's white with black veinings through it, which really gives it that characteristic, that marble characteristic that so many people are looking for. That particular material is moving. Our Bianco Royale marble, sandblasted marble, is probably one of the purest, whitest marbles you're going to find out there. Most marbles you'll find have some sort of variation of color where it's blue or black or red or just some other color. This particular marble is a solid white, which is absolutely beautiful. And also our gray pearl sandblasted is another particular marble that we carry that we just cannot keep enough of. It's sandblasted white marble with blue rays within it. And when you wet it, because it's sandblasted, when you wet this material, the color just pops out of it like it's so vibrant. All of a sudden, it just illuminates everything.
Well, you guys wrote an interesting article on your website about what floor tile sizes are most well known in the USA and what's popular right now. I know large format has certainly blown up over the last few years. I was hoping I can get you to speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you talk contemporary, obviously French patterns are something that has been around forever and people still gravitate to that as well. But for these contemporary looks, these modern looks, they're looking for a larger format, something that flows, something that just runs all together. So for us, we've noticed that trend in the industry. So we've added into our inventory 24 by 24 and 24 by 36. Larger formats are very popular. The French pattern, also known as Versailles, is always going to be around, but we're noticing a lot of people looking for 50-50 brick lay running bond patterns on their decking. So the 12 by 24s, the 16 by 24s, the 24 by 24s, and in some cases, even 24 by 36 have been very popular in the industry right now. And we've brought all of that material in.
What colors, textures, and patterns in travertine and marble tile are currently trending right now with your customers?
So for the travertine, tumbled, which is typically what's always been trending with travertine. They used to do chiseled edges, but that's kind of faded out. That's more of a rustic look. Some people still look for it, and it is something that we still offer as well. But particularly tumbled, very clean finishes when it comes to the travertine. When it comes to the marble, tumbled is not necessarily our go-to because it gets slippery. So for us, sandblasted marble is predominantly what we're going to carry. We do have our marble also sandblasted with the leathered finish. Some people may not like the grittiness of the sandblasted material, so we've come up with sandblasting the material and then passing over a smooth leathered finish over the top, so you still have that texture there to add some grip when that material is wet.
Well, aside from what products moving off your own shelves, what are the current key trends in the tile and stone industry that Faber CNK Stone is currently focused on?
Retaining walls, water features, those are so big. Those are really like an exclamation point for someone's backyard. When you walk back there, obviously the decking and the coping is beautiful, but when you have that water feature with the scuppers coming out and water coming down them, that wall is just, it speaks volumes to everyone that walks back there. So for us, knowing that that's a really big point for a lot of these homeowners and also for the pool builders, we brought in a lot of stack stone, a lot of different mosaic pieces to add character and add beauty to backyards with these particular material that we brought in. We brought in a 6 by 24 plank that is a very modern looking stack stone. It's one full piece with kind of like saw cuts that cut across it, and it really just stands out when you walk back there and you see a black tile with white marble veining running through it, something that most of the time porcelain tries to emulate, but this is actually the marble there sitting in your backyard. I mean, it's absolutely exquisite. That and 3D honed stack stone has been very popular because it gives that modern feel to it as well. I can't tell you enough how modern these backyards are looking right now.
I'm sure you consult with material selections all the time, but what advice would you give to homeowners looking to update their backyard with travertine or replace their tile and coping?
The advice I'd give when I'm working in the showrooms most of the time is, what's your vision? Once you find your vision, now you start to do your material selections, because there are so many different options out there that it can become overwhelming and you can lose track of what you're actually trying to do because there's so many beautiful pieces, right? So once I get an idea of what their vision looks like, then we'll start going into the selection process. And another thing to keep in mind when you're a homeowner and you're looking to build a pool, obviously you want the beauty of it, but let's also think about the safety of it as well. And how well does it hold up in harsh weather? How well is this material holding up? So you can find material that maybe you've shopped around as a homeowner and you're looking and you're finding a better price over here, but you want to make sure that you're going to protect your investment. Is that material going to last you 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, the rest of your life? Those are really big key points because you're going to invest a lot of money into building this pool and this deck and this complete backyard that you want. So my advice would just be your vision, the safety for you and your family, and the quality of the material that you're getting. When it comes to safety, obviously, family is the most important thing for all of us. And when I'm thinking, what do I want to put down on my pool? I'm taking into account my kids are going to be out there, my family's going to be out there, we're going to have parties, we're going to be hanging out, right? So it's a fun place for all of us. So sandblasted material would probably be the safest choice for anyone considering adding a deck or coping to their backyard. Sandblasted material has a gritty texture to the top of it. It actually enhances the beauty of it, honestly, in my opinion. But due to the fact that it has that gritty texture on it, when your kids are running back and forth on there, you're not going to have to tell them to stop running. Kids are, you can't stop them from running. They're 100 miles an hour all day. You're not going to have to tell them to stop running with this because they're going to have traction. So that's just a really, really key point I tell my clients when they walk into the showroom. Sandblasted material, if you have kids, this is going to be your best option. As far as our material and how durable it is, I get this question all the time. Is this going to break on me? My kids are going to be playing on it. Is this going to be something that's going to hold up? So I've done my research on our material. We test all of our material, and our marble and travertine strength PSI wise is off the chart. Our travertine is at around 4,800 PSIs, and that's pound per square inch. So unless we have a bulldozer back there or an elephant, we're going to be all right. And our marble is even stronger. It's about 9,000 PSIs. So for us, durability, quality is everything. We stand behind our products 100%. So in order for us to do that and stay in business, we have to make sure that our material is exactly what we say it is.
Well, natural stone is certainly a premium material, but are there particular challenges or considerations when using travertine tile in outdoor spaces that homeowners should be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to things that homeowners should be aware of, I'm a big fan of sealing product. And I know a lot of people aren't just because it can take a left turn for you if you're not using the right product. But that's a really key point for me. I believe that if you want to protect your investment, sealing is definitely the way to go, sealing that product. And the sealer that we offer has a 3 to 5 year life expectancy, which is great due to the fact that I've seen so many other sealers that have to be reapplied every year. This particular sealer has been tested on all of our material. We've put it through every situation that we could think of, and it has held up and kept that particular stone as beautiful as the day you got it.
Well, that's great, Eli. I mean, can you describe some of the most innovative projects where Faber CMK stone products have been used?
Yeah, absolutely. Our platinum ice has been used in so many modern looking projects that it has really set the standard for us. And when you think of natural stone and you think of a beautiful backyard, platinum ice, tundra gray, those materials should come to mind because the platinum ice is going to be a white marble with black veining through it that's absolutely beautiful. And not only that, it's sandblasted with the bush hammered finish. So you're going to get that safety feature that we offer here as well with that particular material. I've seen several projects done with this particular material, and the way these companies are using it and installing it in so many different formats, it looks beautiful in every single way. I mean, I can't tell you enough about this platinum ice material we carry, and it comes in every format that we offer: the 12s, the 16s, the 24 by 24, bull nosed, eased edge. We carry it in every format. The Tundra Gray is another one of our marbles that is sandblasted as well, and it has a variation in it. So some pieces are going to be grayer than others, and some also have a white marble veining throughout it as well. And it's another material for us that is just flying off the shelves. That particular material we also offer in all of the formats that we carry: the larger formats, the French patterns, the 1.25 inch, 2 inch for the coping, eased edged, bull nose. That material really holds up well as well because I understand everybody loves white and they want to see the white in their backyard. But if you have trees out there and leaves are falling onto these decks, it can be an eyesore for a little while because those leaves, they'll bleed out onto the stone. But the Tundra Gray, it being a darker stone, it kind of hides some of that. So you're not really having to look at an eyesore too much when you're dealing with the Tundra Gray.
Definitely two really great looks. You'll find these highlighted in the next issue of Pool Magazine. Eli, thanks so much for taking the time out to connect with us today and for introducing us to Faber CNK Stone and also giving us some insight as to what's hot and trending in your world right now. Really enjoyed having you on the show.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
Well, that's all the time we have left today. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast.
This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tenjam. Thinking of adding a sun shelf to your pool? Infinity by Tenjam is a freestanding sun shelf that can be delivered, installed, and ready for use on the same day. Finally, a tanning ledge without the need for costly pool renovation. Infinity by Tenjam is the fastest and most simple way to add a sun shelf to your existing pool. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web today at www.tenjam.com.